Hello, gorgeous. You're listening to the Girlfriend's Guide to Starting Over. On this podcast, we talk about everything from dating and relationships to personal development. We also speak very candidly about the F word, and by that, I mean failure. So grab a pen, tag a friend, and let's talk about it. All of it. Undergoing, overcoming, and simply trying to make it through. Hello, gorgeous. You're listening to the Girlfriend's Guide to Starting Over podcast, and I'm your host, Kayla. If you are just listening for the first time, I want to say hello and welcome to my platform. And as always, if you are a returning listener, hey sis, what's up? Welcome back. So in today's episode, I want to dive into Superwoman Syndrome. It is something that I have been blessed to recover from and something that I see very frequently with my friend group and some of my clients. And I feel like bringing awareness to it is a good idea because it's something that we can totally overcome, but we have to acknowledge that it's an issue. So Superwoman Syndrome basically is a phenomenon in which a woman never asks for help. She tries to do everything perfectly and basically neglects her own needs. And as a result, basically burns herself out. You may experience Superwoman Syndrome when you are trying to be the perfect mom. So you're packing lunch and you're doing the soccer run and you're a top performer at work and you're trying to be 110% for your partner. You're at the gym at 5 a.m. and you're trying to sling margaritas for girls' night at 5 p.m. And you are, the PTO president and a Sunday school teacher. You're playing all of those roles and you're kind of neglecting your own needs. And as a result, you may experience health problems like hypertension or stomach aches. It's stated that as women, we are twice as likely to experience depression and anxiety as men. We may have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. And then there's 28 million women who make up the 38 million people who report to have migraines. People who experience Superwoman Syndrome often burn the candles at both ends. They have very, very difficult time saying no, and they might be noted to be irritable or tired all the time. They're constantly stressed, constantly overwhelmed, constantly feeling like there's too much to do, and ultimately they just feel emotionally exhausted. So if any of those things apply to you, if you're like, ooh, Kayla, you might be talking to me, tap in. Let's talk about 3 things that you can do to start to eliminate some of those symptoms. And make note that this may be something that you should seek professional assistance for through therapy or coaching, okay? So let's tap in and talk about it. Once a person has identified that they are showing some of the characteristics of Superwoman Syndrome, I have 3 automatic suggestions that I lend to them. And so grab your pen because we're going to chat about it. The first is that they begin to schedule 30 minutes to 1 hour a day for downtime. And during this downtime, it is truly a recovery period. So you are to rest, relax, take a nap, meditate, do yoga, journal, literally do anything that is going to allow you to calm down, to bring things down a notch and allow you to reset. And so lots of times my friends will say, Kayla, you don't understand. I have children. I have a husband. I have a job. I don't have an hour a day where I can literally just sit down and do nothing. And I say to them, I can appreciate that you have responsibilities to other people. You also have a responsibility to yourself. And so whether that means that you should get up 30 minutes early before everyone else has put their feet on the floor, or if that means that you need to take, 30 minutes during your lunch hour, or if that means that you have to take, 30 minutes to an hour after everyone has fallen asleep, finding that time for yourself is essential to your well-being and your mental health. And for those of you who are like, Kayla, sincerely, there's no way that I could work out 30 minutes together. Break those 30 minutes into 15-minute increments. When can you take 15 minutes to just do some deep breathing exercises? When can you take 15 minutes to do a 10-minute guided meditation so that you would have 5 minutes to decompress and then get back into whatever you have assigned for you to do for the day? Taking time for yourself is important. If you do not make time for rest, you will have to make time for recovery. We have talked about that over and over, and so I want to make sure that that sticks, if nothing else. The second thing that is so important in recovering from Superwoman Syndrome is asking for help. And I would venture to say it's probably the hardest thing to say in the English language is, I need help. For whatever reason, we believe, or we are trained to believe, that asking for help is a sign of weakness, when in reality, asking for help is a sign of strength. Knowing your limits, knowing when things have gone too far, knowing when assistance is what's going to best serve you, that is such a strength. And so for those of you who are struggling, I started super small, okay? Asking for someone to help me with the door. I signed up for a valet trash service. So someone comes all the way to my doorstep and retrieves my trash from my home for me. I don't have to handle that. I don't have to even worry about it. I just sit it out and it gets taken off for me. Additionally, I use ClickList, or sometimes if I'm just having a really rough day, I might order DoorDash so that my dinner comes to me. There are several weeks where I will order Instacart, and so my grocery shopping is done for me and it's brought to me. And that does not symbolize me being weak or me being lazy. It's me maximizing my time and ensuring that I reach out and request the assistance that I need to make my day and my week and my time flow fluidly. And sometimes that hour where I'm waiting on my Instacart to come in, or I'm waiting on my DoorDash, is that hour that I needed to rest and recharge. And it has made me a happier person, less irritable. And so yes, that $5 or that $6 delivery fee is totally worth my mental health. Finally, I always encourage people to eat a well-balanced diet and get your steps in. A body in motion stays in motion. And so when you are a busy mom, when you are feeling like you could use an extra arm or another set of legs or a clone so that you could get all the tasks done, when you're eating well and you're fueling your body well and you're getting your water in and you're getting your steps in, your body is going to be healthy and you are going to have the power that you need to sustain yourself when you are pushing to get all the tasks completed. And so one of the ways that I ensure that I'm eating a well-balanced diet is meal prepping on Sundays. I make sure that I have my lean proteins, that I have, my veggies, that I have my fruits, that I'm taking my vitamins, that I'm doing all the things necessary to nourish my body so that when I don't get to the gym, or when I don't get to the trail, or that I don't get to walk the dog, I don't feel as guilty because I know that I'm still loving on myself and I'm still pushing myself to be active. So these are just 3 ways that I combat Superwoman Syndrome every single day. Of course, I am here if you're interested in coaching, if you need to talk about it in more detail, if you feel like you need to reach out to a therapist because your emotional exhaustion or your depression is so bad, please let me know as well. I can send you links to how you can find a therapist in your area. I just want to serve and support you, and I look forward to doing so. Have an excellent day on purpose, sis, and we will chat in the next one. Well, gorgeous girl, that's a wrap for this episode. I hope you found value, insight, or strength. I hope something was said that gave you the courage to push on a little while longer toward the life of your dreams. If you felt motivated during this segment, screenshot this and throw it in your stories and tag me on social. That way we can keep the message going. Have an excellent day on purpose, and we, girl, will talk in the next one.